Good evening, Internet. My name is Morph and I am super. Thank you for asking. Now, what I have for you here, my good shumly boos, is Stork versus NaDa. Two both thoroughly parkour players. These guys are not messing about at all. They know exactly what the hell they're doing. Now, Stork is the Protoss player, NaDa's the Terran player, just in case you didn't know. So we got Stork coming in top left purple, and then in it looks like red, which is appropriate for NaDa. Yes, it is red NaDa as red in the bottom left. Now let's start off talking a bit about NaDa. Actually, no, I'm just going to get basically Stork. He gets a lot of coverage at the moment. You know the deal with Stork. Strongest matchup versus Terran, 66% versus T. Now, NaDa, this man here in your bottom left, coming at you in the red. His strongest matchup is actually against Zerg with 63%. Now, against the other two races, he's doing sort of high 50s. Against them, it's like 57 against Protoss, 56 in TVT. Now, what I think is particularly interesting about how NaDa's doing against Protoss at the moment is that his percentage shouldn't really be. Well, his percentage might be a slight misleading, because I wouldn't say he's been on a losing streak against Protoss. It's nothing that serious, but he's had some things that have probably frustrated him. He got beat 3-0 by 3, and some of the less reputable players in the Protoss world have beaten NaDa. So I think maybe he's a little bit more fired up than usual. You know, I think he probably wants this more than just, you know, you want your average thing. I think he probably does want to get back on form a little bit with his Protoss play, because he has been having a fair few Protoss matches recently, and as I said, he's not been doing overly well in them. So I think he could be doing better and will want to show us what he is made of. So what's been going on while I've just been saying that is we see that NaDa's going for his wall in there by his ramp. This is one of the space maps. This is Andromeda 1.0. It's a 50-50 in terms of these two races against each other. You know, there are critical ramps, but there aren't loads and loads of ramps. There are island expansions. You know, this is basically there's 3.8% in favour of one of these races, and you know, as I often say, you don't want to base any opinion on less than 5%. That's just the way I go. Statistics mean nothing to the individual. So yeah, we've got the second supply depot. Well, I think that might have been a factory actually, if I do believe so. We've got a factory walling going on the part of NaDa, so he's definitely wanting to. And yes, that's what it is. Sorry I didn't mention. It's Khan versus Wemade FOX. So we got this. This is a 4-position map, which is why we have that probe scouting in the wrong direction to the right. We've had NaDa's SCV. Looks as if it might have just gone in, seen that his just had a quick look-see and then shifted off. I don't really know why that SCV has retreated. I don't know if it's maybe just following the probe. I think it's because yeah, if you look on the minimap now that we're at that view, there's no you know, he hasn't seen any of the actual buildings, so I'm not quite sure what he's going for there, but that's fine. So we've got a Marine out on the field having a little shifty about. Maybe he's going to go in with the Marine for a scout, maybe try and get a couple of cheeky probe deaths. I'm not entirely sure. So now the scouting probe and the Marine, just ships in the night passing by, not really interested in that. We got the natural expansion going up for NaDa, so luckily for him, due to the way the map works, his expansion is within his wall, and lucky for him. We've got the Robo going down for Stork, so I don't know if he'll be going for some drops, going for some mobile detection. It's hard to see. No spinning there on the machine shop, actually. That's interesting. I don't know whether maybe just the timing's a bit too early for that, or he's saving himself. So now we've got one more Dragoon out there, and 2 Dragoons actually chipping about in the area, coming into dangerous proximity to that marine. Lucky for that marine, he is spared. Other Dragoon there guarding the ramp. Looks as if that shook these off, but no, the Dragoon is coming after that marine, unfortunately for him. Now we do have the SCV coming back into the area of Stork. Dragoon's knocking on the front door, trying to get down at that SCV that's building the command center. No siege mode yet, unfortunately, which will make this a tad more difficult to defend, but NaDa won't have anything to worry about for a little while. You know, these three goons are not going to be able to do anything too definitive. I don't think one of the SCVs actually died. One of them might have died, so now we do have this SCV inside the base. He's probably, I think he saw that observatory. He's most certainly seen the robo. So that SCV just trying to stay alive as long as it can. We've got the Nexus expansion going down for Stork there. And now finally we do see the spinning, so we will see some siege mode if that's not already a thing. And so we actually have a double expansion, pardon me, for Stork. It looks like he's going for the instant double expansion. Very interesting build as well, waiting until just after that SCV was out of the area and then plonking, well, not waiting, but keeping it busy as it were with other things, just to try and make it not realise that there are in fact two expansions warping in, not just a singular one. Although saying that though, NaDa might have actually seen that there are the two expansions, which is what's prompting him to do this push out, although obviously you would want to push out anyway, but you'd certainly want to stop your opponent going for a double expansion. So it will be 2 base versus 3 base in terms of economy in a short while. Vulture's laying down some mines, maybe not the best placement, although placing them by the ramp there is wonderful placement. One Dragoon does go down there. Siege tanks just firing away in normal mode still, and the Dragoons are going down. All the Vultures have gone down, but nevertheless the siege tanks have remained unspotted, and now a couple of Vultures come in to resupply this, and it looks as if the one of Stork's expansions is in real trouble. He's going to have to put some counter-attacking real soon in order to be able to deal with this. Few Dragoons popping away at the mines there. Thankfully there is the observer in the area to deal with that, and now we have the third expansion on the part of NaDa coming up, and Stork's expansion goes down, so now he's on a So now we will see, as I said, a 2 base versus 3 base economy, but the other way around than I thought. But what I'm sure you noticed, Internet, what I am positive that you noticed, was that we will have Reavers soon. I know you saw it going down. You thought I missed it. I thought you missed it, but you saw it. See, a lot of people say, oh, why didn't you say when that goes down? I give you people credit. You've got eyes. You can see what's going on. Tangent back to the map. So we got some missile turrets going down, quite wise on the part of NaDa. Maybe, you know, from a detection point of view, but also, you know, he's seen the robo. He knows that shuttles are a possibility. Every you know, Protoss player loves the Reaver harass, but it looks as if what's going on is that Stork's going to take one of those island expansions with the dropship there. It looks as if he's dropped the probe in, he's walking in pylon, so he's going to take that isolated island expansion, try and get his economy advantage that way. And so now, but as the counter to that, we have the barracks of NaDa floating in, which will probably float up to that island expansion just to check. But now we have loaded in and reclaiming that original expansion there. And now we have a Reaver in the shuttle, which even with those missile turrets there, does spell some serious trouble for NaDa, as those missile turrets are the only anti-air he has on the ground. Citadel of the Doom going down right there. So we may see Templars in the near future. It's not unlikely. It's not unheard of. So a couple of siege tanks there, just keeping things in play. Wisely placed siege tank there behind the mineral line, and now looks as if, yes. So we actually see as well there the engineering bay flying around the side, probably going to keep an eye. Keep an eye on the other island expansion there. So the shuttle didn't really want to commit, I guess, just basically went in, had a look at the situation, saw the siege tank, saw the missile turrets, and went, bit too risky, gonna try and take one of the less secured positions, which is always a wise play. You know, Protoss players never want to lose that, and there is the Templar Archives. They never want to throw away their Reavers idly, you know, they always want to make them count, definitely. So finally we see the Comsat station on the part of NaDa. Thank God for him. We've also got the Academy there and the Armory. So now it looks as if maybe he's just going to use the Reaver for a knock on the front door. I'm not entirely sure what Stork's planning. I think maybe he's a little bit disappointed that that little Reaver drop just sort of didn't feel right. And now with the floating barracks, as I said before, he has scouted this island expansion. So we're probably going to see dropships